Hello everyone, it's it's Trent. A wise man once said, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. With that said, can you believe that Shrek just turned 20 years old?
I don't know about you guys, but Shrek is quite possibly my favorite childhood movie. I watched it all the time as a kid to the point where I could probably recite it word for word. Stop looking at me like that. I had a good childhood. Please don't look into it. But no, Shrek was actually a pretty fun movie. It made DreamWorks a lot of money, it featured an all-star voice cast, and it started a very successful film franchise, all based on seeing your own self-worth and accepting who you are on the inside. The series has a pretty good track record in all honesty. I mean, Shrek was good, Shrek 2 was great, Shrek 3 was there, Shrek Forever After was okay, and Puss in Boots was full of big, sweaty egg lips.
In all honesty, it's one of the better handled animated movie series out there. Like Toy Story. It didn't really pander to like a certain demographic, and I respected the intelligence of all who watched it. Everyone of all ages can sit down and enjoy these films, but unfortunately, DreamWorks, of course, decided to try to milk the franchise for more money than it was worth. There were always going to be inevitable spin-offs.
I'm talking books, toys, theme park rides, direct-to-DVD holiday specials, comics, these, freaky-looking costumes, and then you get to video games, and, well, that's where I come in. I'm gonna give you the skinny. Shrek 2 on Game Boy Advance is a good game, and Shrek Super Slam is a good game. That's about it.
This game came out 6 months after the first movie, and while it would have been just a normal run-of-the-mill bad license game that would have been standard for the time, what makes Shrek a very interesting little biscuit is the fact that this was a launch title for the Xbox, at least here in North America. So, for some reason, forever etched into the tomes of history, alongside games like Halo Combat Evolved and Munch's Odyssey, Shrek will forever be up there as a game that was supposed to promote the capabilities of the Xbox. Well, maybe they had a good reason to. Let's find out.
Oh, TDK published this game. As in, totally don't know why we thought Shrek was going to be a hit. Oh, I wonder who they held at gunpoint to actually produce this No. No. Wait, no. DICE? DICE? The same developers who made Battlefield, Mirror's Edge, and Star Wars Battlefront made this?
This can't be right. Am I being way too harsh on the game already? Maybe it's better than I remember. Well, whatever the case may be, it's too late to turn back now, so might as well stick to my guns and review this sucker. Let's make our way through the swamp and take a look at Shrek on the Xbox.
Quite the exquisite title screen, guys. A still image of Ogre Earwax. Yum. Let's see, my name? Let's go with Balls, of course.
It just dawned on me. The first Shrek movie really isn't the best film to be adapted into a video game. Everything kind of slows down after the first act so it can build the romance between Shrek and Fiona. There's not really a bunch of action in Act 2. So, how are they going to make a story that's fun for the kids and will keep them interested? Oh no, don't tell me this is a dating sim.
Shrek, something terrible has happened. Merlin has captured Princess Fiona. But you
Wait, what?
can rescue her by going on a quest. Let me introduce you to your foe.
Who?
This former court wizard doesn't jest when it comes to evil. Kings tremble and kingdoms
But wait,
fall when
who's...
he's in town. He's the meanest magician this side of Duloc Hills.
I don't follow.
This is Merlin's Dark Tower Fortress of Pure Surrounding this fortress
But wait,
is
what's...
a foul fog that Merlin has conjured to hide his wickedness. Only by performing good
Well, I get that, but...
able to push back the fog and find Merlin's tower.
Okay, but...
And if you jump into my magic mirror, I will teleport you to the places where good deeds are required.
Hey, time out! What's going on here? Granted, the movie didn't have that great of a story to begin with, but you couldn't have at least tried to follow it just a little bit for this video game. What even is this plot?
So Merlin, who was introduced in the third movie, but let's not talk about that one, is our villain. And he, I guess, captured Fiona. When? Why? How? Never explained. It's all just told to us by the magic mirror. Haven't you guys ever heard of the phrase, show, don't tell? But you better get used to it, because this is the only cutscene in the entire game. And that's a term I use loosely because 90% of this opening cinematic is just still images of flashing lights. Riveting.
Let's just hope the gameplay makes up for the non-existent story.
Okay, I wasn't expecting AAA quality graphics, guys, but good lord, Shrek looks a little pervy, don't you think? Geez, for a big lumbering ogre, he moves pretty quickly for his size. That's not unusual or anything. Whoa, Jason Crow, he really took off there.
Seriously, he rivals Sonic in terms of speed in this game. He's pretty fast on his feet, but as soon as you tilt the analog stick ever so slightly, he takes off at Mach 3. This is Shrek we're talking about here, right? The same large, obese, green creature who loves to eat onions and bathe in mud. When did he tap into the Speed Force?
The mirror has us go through a generic and boring tutorial, learning how to jump, wall jump, do basic attacks, and how to fart and burp. No, seriously, those are some of the main abilities that we get to learn. Ugh. You eat onions to fart and stun enemies, and you eat chili peppers to burp and set enemies on fire, which is just another way of stunning them. Oh, okay. You can also light your gas clouds on fire to launch yourself into the air, but aside from one mission I can recall, this skill isn't too useful. Also, I'm no fighting expert, but these punches and kicks don't look too effective there, big guy. You couldn't hurt a fly with how weak these hits look. You can also hold the left trigger to dash and long jump, which is kind of pointless since you already move like a guy who just ate Taco Bell and is looking for the nearest restroom, but I digress.
I'm going to take a wild guess here and say that, aside from the swamp, none of the locations in this game are from the movie.
Wow, like, not even close. Why is this game so ugly? I mean, look at this. Do any levels in this game remind you of Shrek? All of them are really dark, really confusing to navigate, and they're just disgusting. Nothing in this environment screams Shrek whatsoever. It doesn't help that you're never given any sense of direction whatsoever. Anytime you load into a mission, and this is every single time you load into a mission, there's this old lady who will read it off to you like it's an actual storybook, which is kind of out of place and weird.
His door with anger. That stupid cow. Every night she jumps over the moon and dances in my cornfield. I can't sleep at night. Shrek, do me a favor and pass some gas on her when she's out dancing.
However, aside from that brief little explanation on what to do, you won't be given any direction on where to go. There's one mission where you have to beat up a guy named Frankendrop and throw him out of a ring 3 times in order to win. Simple enough. But the game doesn't tell you where to find him and doesn't give you anything on where he might be. It was only after scouring this visually ugly industrial setting that I eventually figured out you're supposed to wall jump up to the roof of a factory and face him up there. Well, thanks for giving me that indication. Another level that really chafes my drawers is Molasses Sewer. Good God, this level sucks. It's dark, it's twisting, it's turning, it's confusing, you don't know where to find anything. This was probably the level I spent the least amount of time on because I don't know anything about it. The navigation is confusing, and I can't do jack.
However, I'll give the game credit for this. Shrek has the best victory animation I've ever seen.
Another issue I have with this game is the controls. Because Shrek runs around like an unhinged lunatic, it's very hard to try and pull off basic platforming. Whenever you jump, and this is every time you jump, you don't feel like you have a lot of weight once you're in the air, and wall jumping is a good example of this. There were multiple times where I had to wall jump to reach a new part of the level, but because I didn't have a good indication on where I'd land because of how Shrek moves, I'd end up missing the platform altogether. Heck, he's so broken that even when you land on a platform, you'll start to slowly slide off of it, because this game's collision is a joke.
Look, I've said it once before, but why are the controls so loose and floaty when Shrek moves so fast? This is a large, foreboding ogre we're talking about. Do you really expect him to move like this?
Another big nitpick I have of this game is its art design. For lack of a better term, it looks poopy. And It's hard for me to say that because it proudly advertises on the cover that Todd McFarlane, yes, the Todd McFarlane, the same guy who created Spawn and Venom, worked on the art for this game. And yet it looks nothing like the movie. It looks ugly. And speaking of not looking like the movie, besides Shrek and the Magic Mirror, no character from the first movie makes an appearance at all. Not even Donkey, and he's proudly on the front cover of the GameCube version of the game. Oh yeah, before I forget, there's a GameCube version of Shrek called Shrek Extra Large. Apparently it's more refined, has more levels, and it's basically an expanded version of the Xbox version. But the funny thing is, even though Donkey's on the cover, he's still not in the actual game. And don't expect me to review that game anytime soon, due to the fact that GameCube titles are starting to skyrocket in price, and I'm only a man with so much money. But there you go.
It doesn't matter, though, because it doesn't change the fact that this game is so freaking tedious. It's the same mission types over and over again with no diversity. It has nothing to do with anything that's remotely from the same film it's connected to. And worst of all, it actually gave me a headache.
Wow. Besides making no sense whatsoever, wow, a mission where you kick prisoners to freedom? Sounds like a good deed to me, don't you think, dangerous criminals? You have to really suck in order to make me feel pain during your game. I'm dead serious. The only reason I didn't finish the story was because it was actually starting to bludgeon my senses. If that's not a sign that you messed up, I don't know what is. Weird controls, weird environments, and a weird story aside, nostalgia was the only thing that suckered me into playing this game again. And trust me, I've learned my lesson.
Geez, I need to take an Alka-Seltzer or something. But look, if at any chance you see this game in the near future at your local video store, take the advice of Shrek when he's talking to the angry mob. This is the part where you run away. Words to live by. That was Shrek on the Xbox. I've been Regular Trent, and until next time, take care and spike your hair. I'll see ya.